In 1948, the Paratroopers Brigade was formed. Of all the infantry brigades in the IDF, only the Paratroopers are voluntary because of the special missions they sometimes perform. To qualify for the unit, a soldier must pass a grueling test called a gibush. Only those who pass the gibush will have the privilege of wearing the red beret and the red boots that are symbolic of this unit. Of all their historic battles, perhaps the most iconic is in the 1967 Six-Day War, when the paratroopers liberated the old city of Jerusalem. If you've seen the famous photo by David Rubinger of 3 soldiers at the Western Wall, tears in their eyes, those are paratroopers. Today, we're going to spend some time with this storied unit, a day in the life of a paratrooper. Down there at the base behind me, Bach Tzanchanim, the primary training base of the Paratrooper Brigade. It's a relatively new base, just 20 years old. Come, let's take a look. Sergeant Yuval, good morning.
Hi Joel, how are you?
Good, and thank you so much for hosting us at the Paratroopers training base.
Yeah, it's going to be a great experience. We're going to show you what the life of a day of a paratrooper looks like at the training base and go through the whole paratroopers experience.
So I know we're going to see and experience a day in the life of the paratroopers. How do we begin?
Well, we'll go to the flag raising ceremony, something that we start with every single day here at the base. And from there, we'll go around the whole base and explore it.
As I was coming into the base, I saw a big sign in Hebrew planted into the hills. What was that?
So what the sign says basically is, once you're a paratrooper, you're always a paratrooper. And this is really true about the paratroopers. From the first day you enlist to the army and arrive here at the base until the last day of your reserve service, you're part of this family, part of the paratroopers, and you become sort of part of a brotherhood. And we look out for each other throughout our whole lives.
And I know paratroopers is one of the most requested units in the IDF. There are actually more kids who want to be paratroopers than there are paratroopers. Did you always know you wanted to serve here?
So my dad was part of the paratroopers and he was part of the Sayeret, and actually so am I.
The Sayeret?
Yeah, the Sayeret is basically the Special Forces Reconnaissance Unit of the paratroopers. You do an extra exam in order to get in, have a bit of a longer training process, and at the end of the day, receive special missions that the paratroopers receive.
And you wanted to go in your father's footsteps?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a big part of, as we said, about feeling part of the family. It's also part of it, and feeling part of the family of the paratroopers and the Sayeret family also.
And do you really feel that as a soldier now that you're in?
Yeah, I can say that I do feel that. I mean, there's something, but I think also my father feels proud, and also I feel proud to be part of the same brotherhood as we talked before. So I'm going to show you one of the most unique aspects of the training here at the base. First of all, it's a really hot day, so here's a hat with our symbol on it, so you can feel part of the paratrooper atmosphere.
So what do we have here?
This is an archaeological site that we've been excavating for the last year or so as part of soldiers' training. They've also had part of their time here at this site, and we've worked on the connection between their feeling as soldiers here to their connection to being part of the Israeli nation and being Israelis, and to our history and geography of understanding where we are inside Israel. Our work here has been done together with Israeli Antiquities Authority, and we have Nir here, who's the lead excavator of the site, who's going to tell us a bit more about what we've done here.
Hi, hello.
Good to meet you. I love this idea of soldiers connecting with the land through archaeology. What exactly are we looking at on this site?
This site is a settlement dated to the 5th and 6th century AD, which probably was a Jewish settlement. Now, this site especially, we excavated a building, a villa, a very expensive, very high maintenance dwelling building, with the soldiers as a part of this project of connecting between the IDF and the Antiquity Authority.
As we see with our paratroopers, being an IDF soldier is about more than just combat in the field. It's about connecting with history and connecting with the land. But of course, it also is about protecting the citizens of Israel and the borders. Right now, we're heading to the firing range to see the logistics of how that part of training is done. I'm with Major Nir. He is the officer in charge of combat training for Sayeret Tzanchanim, for the Reconnaissance Special Forces branch of the paratroopers. We're in the firing range. And Major Nir, how often do the soldiers come into the firing range?
Okay, so each soldier in the training spends at least 20 days in the firing range shooting. We use different kind of activities, different kind of various skills that we teach him here. We use our instructors, shooting instructors, the boys and girls that do train the soldiers, because it's one of the crucial aspects of a combat soldier.
I know you're about to begin the exercise, so I'm going to step out of the range, but thank you for giving us some insight into this really crucial aspect of IDF combat training.
Thank you very much.
Well, after a morning of intense training on the firing range, it's great to have a little bit of relaxing time. I want to ask about paratrooping itself. It's a big part of being in the paratroopers, jumping out of a plane. And how was it for you that first time? Was there any moment of hesitation that you didn't want to leave that plane?
It happened so quickly, and like it's a 20-second period and 15 people are sent off the plane, so it happens really, really quickly, and you don't even have a chance to think whether it's something you want to do or don't want to do.
Strikes me that paratroopers has a lot of rites of passage. There's the wings, the red beret. There are these things that really signify being a paratrooper that make it different from other units.
Yeah, I think the paratroopers have a lot of pride in being paratroopers. I mean, if it's for us, you know, we start with the hashba'ah, where we kind of
the swearing in
ceremony. We swear in and get the tag, which is a kind of the symbol of a paratroopers, which is a snake with wings. In addition, afterwards we get the paratrooping wings, and afterwards we get the red beret. And if you're in the Sayeret, you also get the sikah, the pin of the Sayeret. So it's a big kind of process that we go through, and giving these stages significance allows us to feel the pride throughout the whole process.
You mentioned the tag with the snake on it. Is there any significance in that image?
Yeah, so the snake represents a deadly animal. It's quick, it attacks quickly and then knows how to retreat also, and the paratroopers were always assigned with special missions that needed this. Basically, jumping, you also get other values that aren't only the jump itself. You need courage in order to jump, which is something that defines the paratroopers. The ability to adapt. You know where you're jumping, but you don't know where you'll land. And you need to know, okay, I've landed here in this situation. How do I get out of it? How do I go back to the people that are with me and jumped with me? Because we end up landing in different places. And I think having the courage and the adaptation are two things that define the paratroopers in a big way since always.
And you know, it brings to mind one other expression I've heard about the paratroopers. I think it's acharei letzanchanim or achar letzanchanim.
Acharei letzanchanim.
Yeah, so what does that mean?
Yeah, so acharei letzanchanim means after me to the paratroopers. What it means is that as paratroopers, we want to always lead, we always want to go forward, and the people will come after us. We want to be the people that are in front. If it means in commanding in front, or if it means as paratroopers as a unit, we want always to be the people that are going forward, and the people will come after us. So Joel, as you can see, we're arriving here at the training bases gymnasium. A lot of activities happen here. But the main thing that we're looking at when we come here is Krav Maga and Krav Maga training. This is one of the most important things for us as paratroopers and in general in the IDF. It's one of the specialties of the IDF.
I'm with Dean. He is a Krav Maga instructor who's been working with these paratroopers for over a year. He's also a black belt in judo who was on the Israeli national team. And Dean, what is the difference between Krav Maga and other martial arts?
So basically, Krav Maga is not a martial art. It's a fighting method. You can break it down into 3 different categories. The first one is military Krav Maga, as you can see right here. The second one is civilian Krav Maga. And the third one is self-defense. It's especially for women. What is different also is that in Krav Maga, we are training the soldier to attack to only weak spots of the body, such as the eyes, the ears, the throat, the testicle, the knees, so you can finish the fight as quickly as possible and open the distance between them and the danger.
And Krav Maga was developed especially for the
IDF. In the early days, they tried to teach judo and other martial arts, and so that the soldier couldn't understand it in the short, long training that they are doing right here. So they went to the Krav Maga, that it's built on the instinct of the human body. And what we are doing here is just maximizing their potential, teaching them how to react under pressure. And that's what you see right here.
And you've been working with these soldiers, as we said, for over a year. What is the training actually like? What do they do?
How to do things. We are practicing to building the muscle memory of a quick reaction, and also the awareness of their surroundings. When they are going to the field, they need to put attention to everything. They need to see everything. So we are working on this. Later on, we are also doing some things that related to martial arts, like boxing, how to defense against knife or something that can, again, they can face on the field as soldier, and they need to know how to react to this dangers.
Well, one thing I did notice, you don't hear them talking at all during the sessions.
Right.
It's extremely physical. So is that on purpose?
They need to know how to interact with each other and communicate without talking, without being stressed. They need to be very calm when they are doing their things outside on the field.
Do soldiers ever talk to you and tell you how it's changed them or how Krav Maga has made their service different?
Of course. After every session, we are doing a survey and asking them how was the training, what did they learn.
What are you hearing?
It's the mental strength that they build and the confidence they are getting when they are going outside with their family, or even when they are on the field and then coming back here, told me, wow, this thing, you amazed us.
שמור פנים, מזכיר 50% עוצמה. צא! לזוז, קדימה, לזוז במעגל.
Krav Maga was extremely intense.
Yeah, Krav Maga is always very intense. Now we're going to go look at a different aspect of our physical training here at the training base, our strength training here at the gym. We're going to meet Leah. She's a sports instructor here, and she's going to explain to us how the workouts work here. So let's go inside.
Wow. Way more professional than when I was in the Army. Hi, Leah.
Hi.
I'm Joel. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for spending some time with us. Tell me about the workouts that you do with the soldiers.
Okay, so basically we have a workout program that combines both strength exercise and both running exercise. And our soldiers need to be really strong for every situation they're going to meet. They have to have really strong legs so they can hold themselves with extra weight on them. They have to run really fast, and they have to lift themselves up with extra weight on them if they have to pass a wall or basically anything.
Give me a quick tour around. Show me what you got.
So here you can see all the weights that they're lifting in order to get stronger and build up muscle. And here you can see all the pull-up exercise, so they have to lift themselves. And you have the bench press, where they have to, in any situation something falls on them, they have to know how to push it away with a lot of weight.
So Leah, in many ways, it looks like a health club you'd see anywhere in Israel.
Yes, so it can look the same in many ways, but we have here some equipment that is basically only for combat fitness. Let's say, example, the vest that the soldiers, they put on them whenever they have to do pull-ups. So this vest demonstrates a normal vest that soldiers put on themselves, which helps them, and they put all their equipment in them. and demonstrate the pull-up with extra weight on them.
How much does this weigh?
Basically, it's between 15 and 20 kilos. Their actual vest, this weighs 15 kilos. And yeah, whenever the soldiers have to lift themselves, they practice with extra weight on them.
So everything they're doing here is geared ultimately toward combat.
Yes. So everything that we practice as soldiers in the strength room is meant for them to be the best in every situation. It's not just workouts to build up muscle and be stronger and look better. It's for them to have better ways to deal with stuff in action.
So we are now in what looks like an Arab village.
Yeah, this is kind of a mock village. It allows us to envision how we defend ourselves in the best possible way in a real situation. Everything that we've looked at today, shooting, Krav Maga, physical conditioning, it all builds up to this exercise that we're going to show here. We're going to show a mass casualty event and an exercise in which we also have other soldiers that play the enemy in order to give us a real feel to what it would look like in a real event.
And I do want to warn our viewers at home that what we're about to see does contain some very graphic imagery of what a real-time war would look like.
יאללה חבר'ה, זה הרגע שחיכינו לו. בואו נראה את הערכים שלנו. אומץ, נחישות, לתת בראש, ללכת קדימה. יאללה, אחריי. جلتي والجلة وهيهات من مسجدنا. الله لنا ذلك.
חבל למעלה!
חבל למעלה!
ראש חבייתי! מדורות להמשך! להמשך!
בטח להמשך!
נס!
רצים!
שיפון כאן 3, כמה שלי כאלה 14, יוצאים כאילו שעד אחד. שומע? בבית, יש לי. מי? ניכנס כאן. עודד! היי! היי! מה זה מוצאים? הכל! מה ניתן? מה ניתן? שלום לטוב! היי! סעיד אבל! סעיד! איתנו, לא נעשה את זה.
Sergeant Duval, thank you so much for allowing us to spend this very long day with the Paratrooper Brigade.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming, and we'd love to have you around anytime.